And you said my keyboard was loud.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to episode 10 of the Clicker Cast. Yes, I caught all of that this time. Congratulations.
Yes.
Oh, that's good.
And as always, I'm leaving all this in. I don't care. As always, I'm Eroe, and I'm joined by, of course, the two most wonderful podcast co-hosts in the world. Take it away.
Ballistic Gaming. What's up?
Yeah, Artie the gamer.
Artie the clickety-clacker.
Don't test me. I'll do it again.
And I'll fucking do it again. You see, to go back to y'all's previous conversation, I think you ought to just get a job in typing, because it seems that you're pretty fucking quick with it, so...
There you go.
Listen, I did almost. Well, okay.
She did almost, ladies and gentlemen.
Did almost.
No, because I wanted to be an author coming out of high school. So.
Oh, there you go. That's exciting. I don't know. I still kind of want to write books. I've actually got the start of, like, I don't even know how many books I've got in my notes on...
Oh, dude. You have no idea. I literally, in one of my Google Docs, I have 280 pages written.
Jesus.
Yeah. Just because I got bored in high school one day. So I just started writing.
Oh.
Yeah.
Action, love story, rom-com, sci-fi.
Yes.
All the above. It's everything.
Yes.
All in one.
Fair enough.
It was like zombie apocalypse type deal. And then
Fitting.
there was some love action happening every now and again, but whatever.
Yeah, what else are you gonna do in a zombie apocalypse?
Fuck.
There you go. There you go. There you go. Well, hey, make sure you go support so that way Artie can finish her book and get it published, so we can see Artie the Gamer on books at bookstores across
I
America.
don't know about that one, brother.
Don't forget about the little people.
Ha!
Add pictures for me.
No.
Oh.
Not even like little pictures above like the chapter titles,
Yeah.
like how Stephen King does it.
Nah.
No, damn.
Good luck. Learn how to read.
1.7. Just remember that number.
Oh,
okay.
I'm fully aware of your 1.7 GPA.
Oh.
So we had a really good episode of The Last of Us. Yes, by really good I mean fucking devastating, and of course the show's now over.
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 So while we will be discussing in great detail the finale of The Last of Us over on HBO Max, spoiler alert, obviously, if you have not seen it, I don't know why you're watching a podcast about the finale of a show where if you haven't seen any of the show.
Supportive.
I understand that. Piss off. Go be supportive after you watch the show. Thanks. Love you.
Love you.
No, but seriously, we're going to be spoiling the hell out of this. So, if you haven't seen it, go watch it, come back. Also, in case I haven't said it enough over the past 10 episodes, we will not be done after this episode because we've got one final one after this. Yep. We do not know the length. It will probably be a little bit longer, but we'll be talking about the show in its entirety, episodes 1 through 9, every little golden nugget that we saw, and also we're going to be revising our rating system.
Yes.
And only allowing 110 per 9 what is it? 110 throughout
and 9 episodes.
Yes, there you go. And I think maybe for shits and giggles we might go like this one was my favorite, this was my least favorite. I don't know. We're going to work out all the little details once we actually get to
system.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think the ranking system could kind of coincide with how we are rating everything too, though. Because
It
obviously
could, but
our
if you have
lowest
ties,
rated.
though, you could still.
True.
Yeah.
Very true.
We'll figure it all out regardless. But
Yep.
we've got to get through episode 9 of the Last of Us before we can get there. So,
Yes.
Yep.
without any further ado, Artie,
Hi.
god damn it. You were right.
Yeah.
You were right.
Kind of.
You can ask Brackle. I literally stood up out of my goddamn chair and went, son of a bitch, Artie.
Yeah.
I mean, but you were right about the timing though. At the cold open.
Ish. I
Yeah.
So that said it was gonna be like mid-episode when she's like under sedation.
Yeah. So I don't know, but
You guys both had it.
yeah,
Group effort.
that's fair. That's fair. Okay, so sit back, buckle up. This is going to be a crazy ride. Here we go.
Yeah.
The episode opens with our first cold open since episode 2. And it of course is starring none other than Ellie herself from the game. Let me clarify. Ashley Johnson, which I'm a big fan of Ashley Johnson. I think she's wonderful.
Yes.
I like a lot of her work, but also I watch her almost daily because of watching Critical Role. So I think she's wonderful. Which it was super refreshing to see her not just do a voice, you know, because like
yeah.
she's one of those like really talented voice actresses, but you don't really see her in a whole lot of like live action stuff. So it was kind of refreshing to see.
Yeah.
It was kind of refreshing to see.
I remember her from way back when. I forget the name of the movie, but it was with Mel Gibson, and Ashley was just a teenager in that movie. I forget the name of the movie though. With Mel Gibson.
I'll have to look that up. I do not know what you're talking about.
I think it's called What Women Want.
Oh.
Where he hears all the women thoughts and shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
That's the one movie I've seen her in.
Fair enough.
But she was just a young, like mid-teens at that point.
Mm-hmm. Okay. But and I will not be doing what I did with the episode with Troy. I named Ashley by her character in my notes.
Wow.
Oh, which
incredible.
I didn't even show. I didn't even show my notes for this episode.
How do you even have that many? It was the shortest episode of the season. Jesus.
Because I am very thorough when it comes to my note taking.
Excuse me. I'm so sorry.
I don't know if you noticed though, the voice that she had for Anna was very closely Ellie-ish. You kind of
I'm pretty sure
that.
she just talked for Ellie.
I
You
was
think
gonna
so?
say, yeah.
You don't think she
Her normal speaking
emphasized?
voice is very similar
Is
to
it?
Ellie in real.
Okay.
Again, this is a free plug, and I think that both of you should invest. If you choose to go watch Critical Role, she sounds like Ellie in the show.
Yep, I'm pretty sure that's just her.
When
never mind
when she's not voicing her characters in the game anyway.
Okay.
When she's not voicing
Fair enough.
Pike and Yasha, and I don't know who she voices or who she plays in the third campaign.
Like I said, the only reason why I even brought that up is because obviously Troy sounds nothing like how he does with Joel.
Right.
Troy is a man of many voices. Though.
He really is. He
Indeed.
really is.
Indeed.
Ashley.
Not so much, but we love you either way, Ashley. You are phenomenal.
Because she's watching, of course.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Come on. Set the bar high.
Tell Matt I said what's up. Ashley, big fan. Anyway, Anna, as she will be known, is it Anna or Anna? I thought Anna.
I think it's Anna.
Anna, okay. She's running through the forest and she is hella pregnant.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
and she gets into this random farmhouse, breaks in. Obviously, she kind of says something along the lines of like, "Is anybody there?" or "Hey, I'm here." When she enters the house,
Yeah.
so I was curious of like who potentially lives there.
See, I thought my theory at that point was going to be right.
Oh,
That Marlene was there.
Yeah, that Marlene was already there.
right.
So.
Which there's similarities apparently to that house and then the house in Last of Us Part 2.
I was just gonna bring that up.
Pointed out.
Yep.
So it's going to be interesting if we have a callback to that house in season 2. Which make sure all you listeners and watchers tune into the next episode of the Clickercast, our finale, because we're gonna be. I've got a lot of extra shit I'm gonna be bringing up in that episode.
It's gonna be a big one, and when we're done with this, I want to throw something by you, Eroe. This is gonna be a doozy of a recording. I just want to throw something by you.
Okay, fair enough. But she gets in the house. She barricades herself into a room up in the top floor. And wouldn't you know it, her fucking water breaks. Really great timing. I have to say, it always seems like it's very, very good timing. Probably like one of my favorite little tidbits in this episode is that she busts out the switchblades, or she busts out the switchblade.
Yep.
I don't know if that was supposed to get such a good reaction out of me, but God knows it got a hell of a reaction out of me. Because I got so excited about that. I was like, oh my God, the switchblade was her mother's. Holy shit.
Yeah, well, the thing is with that, and I overlooked it until I forget what I saw it on. You get a note. You do read a letter in the game from Anna saying that what whoever was taking care of Ellie, I don't think they ever mentioned that in the game. Whoever was taking care of her, to give her that switchblade. So we did know, and I overlooked it completely, but we already did know apparently that switchblade did belong to her mother. That's why it was so special to her.
Yeah, honestly, I thought it was from Riley. When I played the game, I thought it was, to be perfectly honest. So coming from her mother, kind of brings like a whole new light, I guess,
why it was so important to her.
Yeah.
Like, because you saw that when she was captured or was with the Fireflies in episode 1.
Mm-hmm.
Where's my knife?
First thing she asked, and when she got it handed to her, she held it like it was such a sentimental thing for her.
Yeah.
So.
Like I said, I don't know if that was supposed to get such a gutter reaction out of me, but it did. I thought it was such a nice little tidbit.
Yeah.
But a runner, I believe, comes in, kicks the door in. Was that a sneeze?
Oh my God, he's got a big booger. Just stuck to his face.
The poor kitty. Oh no.
Do you need to take a second and clean it?
Yep.
Which one is it?
Oh, turtle.
Turtle.
Since he's gonna interrupt anyways. Say hello to the people.
Hi,
Stop
turtle.
sneezing on me.
I hope that our listeners could hear all that. Make sure you tune into any of the YouTube channels to watch this one in video form, because it's a treat.
Oh my God.
So a runner comes in, kicks the door down, goes after Anna. She kills this runner, this infected. And then in like a very quick, a lot of things happen all at once there. She realizes that she was bitten. She realizes that she had the baby.
Yeah.
And she killed the infected.
One tough bitch, man.
Yeah. Well, I mean, she's Ellie's mother for a fucking reason, man. You know.
Oh, yeah, no shit. Like, this is a tough one.
Just by some of the things that she says to the kid, you know.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I won't lie. I don't remember if it was before or after the intro rolled, but she cuts the umbilical cord with the switchblade, ties it off.
Mm-hmm.
Holds Ellie, and then intro. And I'm not gonna lie, part of me thought that was all we were gonna get. But I was very pleasantly proven wrong, because a small team, which it's several hours later at this point, because it was like midday when Ashley was or Anna was running from whatever she was running from, assumedly a small team of runners. So now there's a small team investigating the field. They get into the same farmhouse. That's when we have the realization that one of the people is Marlene.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
For whatever reason, I have on here, they're most likely looking for Anna and Ellie. Obviously.
I think that house was their little hunker down spot.
Like
Yeah,
a safe house?
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of thought the same after it was all said and done.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Good God. Marlene takes the lead into the house. They go into the top room, and they find Anna sitting there holding Ellie, wrapped up in her, I'm going to just say like a military-style jacket.
Mm-hmm.
Singing to her with her very own switchblade to her own neck.
Yep.
And like to the point where you can even see like the blood trickling from the neck, and that's kind of nuts. Arlene and Marlene and Anna have like this like back and forth, kind of joking but also not joking, because that's how Anna is. And she just straight tells Marlene, "You need to take this child. You need to get the hell away from me. Take it to Boston and take care of it, and then you need to shoot me."
Yep.
You know, Marlene obviously hesitates, doesn't want to do it.
I thought she was just gonna walk the fuck out too.
I did too.
I think we all did. Nope. She takes Ellie, gives it to one of the soldiers, tells him to cover her ears, which he does not do.
No, not at all.
He does not at all. He doesn't move his fucking hands in the slightest, bastard. And she, bam. And then we get a zoom in. We get my zoom in over on Ellie, the baby, to then transform into Bella. Nowadays, Ellie. I love shit like that, and like I love little instances like that with camera tricks where it's like a zoom in on something and then it reveals to be something else. I love shit like that. I'm a sucker for little camera tricks like that. Let's see. Ellie is, of course, not exactly with it, considering all of the things that happened in the previous episode. She's, you know, for a lack of a better term, she's kind of shell-shocked. Joel's trying to get her attention. He's yelling at her. Finally ends up getting her attention, and they go to this bridge. Walking on it. They're not very far from Salt Lake City at this point. And here's the thing. I knew that the second that we started out on this bridge, that it was pretty much going to be a direct carbon copy from the game, which in essence, I feel like that's what the episode really was.
Yes.
Yeah.
Take away, of course, all of the backstory with Anna and Marlene. You've definitely got like a carbon copy from the game. And I mean, I really feel like I've seen the ending to this fucking game 100 times. Yeah. So I feel like I could just go out through the entirety of it. But Artie, you You got it.
I did.
We finally got it. At the very beginning, if you don't know what we're talking about, at the very beginning of this podcast, episode 1 for us, we talked about what our favorite scene was in the game and what our most favorite scene most likely was going to be in the show. Ballistic, you said when Ellie has the realization about her first kill.
Mm-hmm.
Mine was, of course, the cabin scene. The very, heart-warming or heart-wrenching argument between the two of them. And then Artie's was the giraffe scene. And there for a minute, we were really wondering if we were going to get that giraffe scene.
Yep.
Like I said before, though, you have to put that in there. Like, they had to.
Pretty much, yeah.
I would agree. So they go into this construction zone, and Joel's gonna give her a boost, which I think was the first boost in the entirety of the show.
Yep.
Granted, that's all you fucking did in the game was boosties.
Can you drop down a box for me? Oh, fine.
Hey, drop down that ladder for me, Ellie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I fucking smiled so hard for that. Oh, by the way, Eroe.
Huh.
There you go.
Oh, boy.
That's the note.
Oh, in the game.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I just fucked up my camera. That's okay.
Oh.
You and the three of us were the note for a second. Okay, very cool.
And there's the back of it.
There's a back of it too, Jesus.
So yeah, her name in the game, so it was always Anna.
Yeah, forever your loving mother, Anna.
I overlooked that completely.
We're learning stuff here on the Clicker Cast, ladies and gentlemen. Crazy.
This is what I do. If you guys notice, those of you watching the podcast, when you see me constantly looking away from the camera, I'm trying to help my fellow co-hosts out here and
He's
getting
hunting.
things that they need. That's what I do. I'm the hunter.
He's hunting.
He's the hunter.
I'm the hunter. But that's what I'm doing. If you guys are wondering, like, man, this guy really sucks at looking at the camera. He's always fucking looking away. That's what I'm doing.
Fair enough.
I never look at the camera when you record these. Hello, hi.
I say I'm
I
always
always have Discord on full screen, so I'm looking at you guys and not the camera.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I say
Yeah,
I'm always looking at the recording, but I'll direct my attention right here.
Just stare lovingly into the camera. Hello, everybody. Hello.
Welcome to the Clearcast.
So, I think I'm gonna let Artie take this one.
I'm uncomfortable.
After God damn it. After the boosties and knocking down the ladder, almost impaling fucking Joel with the ladder. What do we get, Artie? Tell us all about it.
Giraffes. We get giraffes.
Giraffes.
A real life giraffe.
Yes.
Big old purple tongue. It's really cool.
I was almost convinced that had to have been a CG giraffe.
Nope.
At the very end of the episode, in the behind the scenes, they revealed that it was an actual fucking giraffe.
Yup.
And I think the only reason why it looks so wonky with the giraffe is because everything behind the giraffe is CG.
Yep.
The entire scene was. The only things that were real was Joel, Ellie, and the giraffe.
Yeah. I think that's why it looks so off-putting, because obviously you're putting an unnatural, like not a person-shaped thing in front of a blue screen.
Yeah.
And I think the tracking-wise, they did a great job at it, but I think that's why the giraffe looks so off.
Yeah.
Because I thought the same thing at first. I'm like, is it CGI? But then I was looking at the way it was interacting, because they had it eating things, and it wasn't a CGI replacement of the leaves that they were feeding it. It was legitimate interaction. I'm like, okay, so that was my clue that it was real. Was that if they didn't feed it, I probably would have thought the whole way through, like you, that this was CGI. If they didn't feed it, the fact that they fed it and it legitimately interacted with the leaves in Ellie's hand, and there was no clipping or quick edits to a CGI, then because you could easily tell when things are CGI placed in the hands or CGI to interact with a real person. You see it quite frequently in a lot of movies.
Yeah.
Like the way they pet the CGI thing, it doesn't look natural. You can tell they're just placing their hand there. There's no legitimate pressure.
Wait a minute.
Even in new.
You're telling me that King Kong wasn't real?
Might be.
Oh my god.
You never know. Godzilla's real. Fuck off. I don't care what y'all think.
Well, yeah, Nessie.
Don't get me started with that one. I thoroughly believe there's things that big living that we don't know about.
Tune in to 2 weeks from now when we have our, what is it? Undiscovered Mysteries podcast.
Big creatures.
Big
Do they
creatures, are
exist?
they real? Fuck yeah.
Are they real?
Fuck yeah. Here's my proof.
Let's go.
But we all got our scene that we all wanted.
Mhm.
It was such a nice scene.
I just want to know how the fuck she saw it.
Yeah.
Because considering where she dropped the ladder for Joel, she had to run up a spiral staircase and then up like another 2 flights of stairs to even get to it. How the fuck did you see that?
There was probably like a hole in one of the tarps on the side of the building that she just happened to see. She just happened to see the giraffe like probably eating
the legs or something.
Yeah, or like maybe the body. Yeah.
Ankle. She saw an ankle.
She saw an ankle and then was like, "Oh yeah, I gotta see that."
Oh yeah, I gotta see what that is.
Well,
Nice goof, bro.
We all know that Ellie isn't exactly like the calmest when it comes to like new things. I mean, we saw how she lost her shit over the escalator. All right.
Yes.
Something that we deal with, arguably probably weekly in real life.
Yeah, no shit.
But, so after the beauty that was the giraffe scene, we walk into an old army area, kind of like an old, I don't know the technical term of it. It's like a bunker, not really. And we have a very sincere talk between Joel and Ellie, to where Joel tells Ellie that he was the one who missed originally with the scar on his head.
Yeah.
And that he was, trigger warning, that he was trying to unalive himself. And he backed out at the last... He flinched. Backed out at the last possible second.
And he said he doesn't know why.
Yeah.
Let me see. Keep on going. I'll try to find that quote for you.
Yeah. But and it kind of continues with the two of them talking back and forth. Really, it's more of like an opening from Joel more than anything. I think that's how we finally know that Joel is like finally like fully trusted Ellie and everything. Because we're finally at that point, which I forgot to mention when we were on the bridge, that he wanted to teach her how to play guitar and everything. I thought he found a guitar. I thought he had found one, but he did not.
Well, he said that he found one, but it was all smashed to bits. And that's what got him thinking about it or something like that.
Yeah. I thought he was going to like pull it out behind him or something. I was like, oh, he's got a guitar. Yeah, like we get a bonus scene or something. But before we can get too much more sentimental between Joel and Ellie, a flashbang gets thrown in between the two of them. Because, of course, you can never just have peace and quiet. Goes off. They're obviously surprised. They both knocked, like, pretty much like hazy. Some guy walks up and just clocks Joel right in the face with the butt of his rifle. And black screen. To then wake up, and this is when I got excited, ladies and gentlemen. To then wake up in Marlene's compound, or the Firefly compound, rather. I still kind of think it's Marlene's compound. And it's at that point that once again I had the realization that they are really just gonna fucking rip this right out of the game. And I couldn't be fucking happier. But Marlene is there along with her 2 goons and is telling Joel what happened. He's obviously dazed, confused, wants to know where Ellie's at. For the sake of time, Marlene tells him that, you're not going to go see Ellie. You've done your job. I don't know how you've done your job, but you've done your job. We're prepping her for surgery.
Yep.
Joel has a realization that the cordyceps grows in the brain, and what they could potentially do is turn Ellie's something in the brain into a cure for this insane virus. But it would kill Ellie.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Which is it's got to be very difficult for Marlene, as she says, because she promised Anna that she would keep her daughter safe. But she'd be trifling because she's gonna kill her for quote unquote the better good. We're gonna have that discussion. You ain't gotta worry about it. She orders the 2 goons to escort Joel outside of the building, and lo and behold, after some aggressive shoving, which I just want to say for the record, the guy shoved Joel probably like 4 or 5 times. It'd taken 2 for me.
Oh yeah.
It'd taken 2, and I'd have been like, I'm gonna break your fucking hand, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Like, crack.
Just kept on going. And it's like, all right, motherfucker. Got to the shoving.
Got to the stairway, and Joel kills them both.
Yep.
Almost effortlessly, it felt like.
You got your Joel. I was saying I think this is the rampage that you wanted.
I just want to say, after that, my notes, word for word, says the rampage begins. I don't remember the song.
It was the same song from the sequence in the game too.
Was it?
The hospital scene? I think so. If I remember them, how they in the podcast, I think they mentioned that
Gotcha.
It was like the same score from that scene.
Gotcha.
Was it?
I think that's what they said.
I feel like that's not right.
I'm gonna let them hunt for this. See who can find it first.
I forgot what I was gonna look up. I had it. Do the thing.
Do the thing.
Do the thing.
I don't know what to do with my hands.
Oh, there we go. Let me see.
The Path by Gustavo Santaolalla plays at the end of the Last of Us episode. While it sounds slightly different, it's pretty much the same track that plays at the end of the Last of Us game.
Gustavo, the GOAT. So yeah, there was one thing I wanted from the show, and is I wanted them to show me Pedro Pascal as Joel while Joel was going ape shit like you can in the game. And I finally got that, because he murks almost just about every single person in that hospital. Just brutality, left and right, taking out people, sharpshooter. He runs out of bullets at one point. He goes up and stabs a guy multiple times with Ellie's switchblade.
Yep.
Steals his AR, just goes in, just bam, 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 bam. Making that list much and much, much longer.
Mm-hmm.
But he goes into the room and finds Ellie along with the doctor and 2 nurses, and he shoots the doctor when the doctor tries to approach him, and the nurses, of course, don't shoot us. They untap Ellie from the whatever machinery she was hooked up to. I assume
anesthesia.
That's not the word I was looking for, but yeah, we'll go with
IV.
that. IV. Thank you. Fuck. I'm good at my job.
Yep. Good thing you're not a doctor.
But he then grabs Ellie, goes out to the parking garage. That's when, of course, we run into Marlene. Something just fall over? The hell happened?
Yeah, you.
Me?
Yeah.
You. What was a loud ass noise?
Nothing fell over for me.
No, it's
No. It might have been my chair. Might have been my chair, adjusting in my chair.
It must have been. Sound like you fucking knocked over a shelf.
Still here. I know you can't see it, but still here.
Oh,
Not
God.
Milner, man. Not Milner. I'm not deleting any of my notes because at this point we're at the end here. No. So Marlene tells him you're not going to get out. But even with everything you've done, we can have a workaround. We can figure this out. And we transition back and forth between Joel and Ellie driving, and Joel and Marlene talking in the parking garage. I was really curious if they were going to go all the way with it, like they do in the game.
Sure did.
I was really curious because, like, you didn't see Sam and Henry die like you did in the game.
Yeah.
So I was curious if they were going to do the same thing with Marlene. No. They didn't hold anything back.
Mm-mm.
Nope.
Joel, of course, gives that famous line, "You'll just come after her." Guns Marlene down in cold blood. Lies to Ellie, telling her that everything that they did was for nothing, basically. And that there's plenty of people out there like you. And that it just ain't nothing special about you.
Yeah.
In essence. In essence. We get back to Wyoming, but the car is broken down, which of course was going to create some issues. They start walking. They've got about, I think he said about 5 mile.
5 hour.
We get to right outside of Tommy's place, to where Ellie admits that she lied about killing, and that Riley was her first actual kill.
I swear to God.
The turtle's not having a good night.
No boogies this time, okay?
I mean, that's good.
I think he's got allergies. I know.
Goodness gracious.
Go away. Go shoot. Carry on.
And then, of course, Ellie also asks about everything that happened in Salt Lake City, if it was actually true. Just swear to me, and Joel swears to her. Bella, of course, ends the scene with, okay. And screen goes black.
Yep.
Yep.
Credits roll. The Marvel nerd in me watched the credits because I was really thinking they were going to give us something. They didn't do anything, which I can respect it. I can respect it. That the Marvel.
They didn't do it the entire season, so
no. But I mean, Marvel and Disney have done it to me, where like they've got me spoiled in the fact of like I should always expect an end credit scene at the finale of something, and I just kind of expected maybe like we'll get like the tail end of like a girl walking into the doctor's office, finding out the doctor had been shot. Yeah. Oh, it's fucking Abby, and then cut to black. No, nothing.
Which, did you catch, by the way, that one of the nurses is the voice actor of Abby?
Yes, that was Laura Bailey.
Yes.
Laura Bailey. Brackle was the one to catch that before I could.
I caught it before Ballistic did, so.
Well, we saw her, she saw her name in the,
I knew it before that.
Oh, you knew it before that?
I just wasn't sure.
Ah. Well, she apparently knew it beforehand, but when we saw her name in the credits, we knew for sure. Which, like Artie said, Laura Bailey was, of course, the voice actress for Abby in the second game. And once again, if I may nerd out about them one more time, I will. She's also one of the wonderful members of Critical Role, along with Azra Johnson.
Is she?
Oh,
yes.
no shit.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yep.
I'll have to watch that. I'll have to watch that.
I'll send y'all a good episode. Not one of those like. I don't want to sit here and say they're all boring, but like it's 4 hours of D&D. It's a lot of role playing.
Holy
And
shit!
Damn.
I'm
Okay.
not watching that. Sorry.
well, it's 4 hours, and then there's like 150 episodes. So you
Nope.
do the math.
I'm good.
But yeah, and that's it.
That's it.
Yeah, that's it.
That's where my notes ended. My last note on there, besides for that one of the nurses was Laura Bailey, was that the giraffe wasn't CG, which we'd already went over.
Yep.
We're gonna end this a little differently than usual because I just want to say that I don't want us to have a whole lot of discussion. We're gonna have discussions, obviously.
Mhm.
But a lot of the shit that I want to talk about, I want to save for our big finale, to where we talk about the show as a whole. And like I said, I've been taking screenshots of shit all week of stuff that I want to bring up in this finale episode. I'll go ahead and start with just saying that I thought this episode was fantastic. For me, personally, it brought me the Joel rampage that I wanted. And take me for what you will, that I want to see a man with such animosity just taking out people. Call me what you will. I'm a villain. I'm a fan of villains. What can I say? So I kind of like that darker side of shit. Take it for what you will.
Okay.
I thought this episode was. I'm not gonna say probably my favorite, because I definitely don't think this was my absolute favorite episode. Which, I mean, if I had to pick one, I definitely couldn't. But we'll get to that on episode 11.
You're gonna have to.
Oh, I know, and trust me, it's gonna be difficult. All in all, though, I thought it was a fantastic episode. It's a direct rip straight from the game, with the exception of the backstory from Anna. And yes, I'm going to adjust it all next week. So it's not like
out of 10. Yep.
9 10s. In case none of you have been keeping track at home, that's 9 10s from me.
Uh-huh.
And guess what I give the show as a whole?
10.
Bingo. Don't worry, I'll fix it next week. But as of right now, yes. Episode 9
The show's a 10. The show's a 10.
Oh yeah, the show is a 10, but not every episode is.
I think you'll be surprised. I think you'll be surprised at what I do for our adjustments. Okay. I think you'll be surprised. Because I'm limiting myself to a lot of stuff. So okay. I'm gonna warn everybody now. I'm not going below like a 6. Because every episode's
6?
better.
Wow.
Every episode's better than that. I'm
I'll
not
be
going.
surprised if you go below an 8.
Fair enough. But I would like final thoughts. Final overall thoughts, and then let's get that 9th episode rating out of the way, shall we?
Okay.
Take it away.
Ballistic should go first, actually.
Oh, okay.
Because I feel like my answer is going to surprise you, maybe.
Okay, so episode 9. Great job. I loved it. My favorite episode, probably not, but it was a really good episode. I think the Anna backstory was fine because we didn't know enough with her. I think the Anna portion of this was just to give us how Ellie is immune, which is she was still attached to the umbilical cord. Anna was bit for 5-10 seconds, and then the umbilical cord was, cut. And the line that you were referring to, with Anna, the way she talks, it's you fucking tell him, Ellie. And that's where all that. But overall, I thought it was a really good episode. There was a lot of good callbacks to the game. They cut out the part that I thought they would cut out in the show in comparison with the game, going to the hospital where you're in the tunnel and you fight a bunch of infected and another bloater.
Yeah.
So I thought they would cut that out, and they did. Giraffe, I loved it because it was a real giraffe, which I think has just made it wholesome. The entire scene was supposed to be wholesome because it kind of briefly brought Ellie out of that funk. It kind of showed her more of a light, in essence, to all like the bad shit that has just happened to her prior to getting here. Because obviously they traveled for a while. It went from fucking winter to spring, so they were traveling for, I would say, a good little while to get to Salt Lake City. So, and then you get the little inner monologues. You know, the "we don't have to do this" from Joel, which he says to Ellie in the game as well. And then Ellie following up, you know, there's no halfway with this. We finished what we started. So I thought that was great. The hospital scene, I loved it. Fantastic. Because like Hero said, you got that brutal Joel that we've been waiting for. Because we were wondering, where are we going to get the precision Joel that we know what he is? And we got that. We got the military-esque Joel. Gunning people down, leaving nobody to find her. The only people he spares are the two nurses. Why? Because they weren't a threat. They weren't going to go looking for Ellie. That's why he shot every other Firefly, because they were an immediate threat. And then the one big line from Marlene in the garage is, no matter how hard you try, no matter how many people you kill, she's going to grow up, Joel. And then you'll die, and she'll leave, and then what? How long before she's torn apart by infected or murdered by raiders? Because she lives in a broken world that you could have saved. Now, I know we're going to get into that whole aspect whenever, because I have a lot to say about that as well. But yeah, and the flashbacks in the car. Same cutscene. Ellie and Joel in the car. Because in the game, in the cutscene, you don't see what happens because it cuts directly into the car. And then they flash back to what Joel did to Marlene. And again, kills her. And then, yeah, the 5-hour hike, Joel's constantly reassuring her. You know, and the same thing he does in the fucking, I think they say that in the game. Because you do walk.
Yeah.
Because he kind of brings up Sarah.
Yeah.
How those two would have been really good friends. You know, how they were different and everything like that. But say 9.5 out of 10 for me.
Okay. I'm gonna be honest. I was not a big fan of the, regardless of the giraffes. I felt like we could have used more, honestly. When it comes to Anna, I feel like we should know where she's coming from. Obviously, she's running from infected, but like, where did they come from? Where did she come from? Why is she out? If she's that close to giving birth, I would have liked to know a little more, like how she knew Marlene, what have you, things like that, how they got close. I would have liked more with Anna's story, for sure. After that, the pacing felt kind of off on the episode. I'm not gonna lie. I liked seeing the giraffes. I think it was cool. It was a really nice moment between the two of them. But I don't know. I was not a big fan. I really wasn't. And then when it came to Joel's rampage, I think I would have liked less music and more of like the fireflies, like screaming and like panicking to get that like impact that he's just killing these people. Just like that. I don't know. The whole episode just kind of fell off. And I wasn't a big fan. So, I'm going to give this one a 9.
Okay.
So not a single 10.
Nope.
All right. Do you think you'll
I-
change that come the revision?
Yeah, I think so. I think I know which one's gonna get the 10 and the, but this one was not it.
Fair enough.
Okay, fair.
I think
My-
they could have done so much more with it. Honestly,
Well,
I
my
was kind of
interjection.
disappointed.
My interjection is, what more would you want from the Anna sequence? Because, in my opinion, I think what you got from there, was enough.
You got the bare minimum. I feel because they could have, done more with Marlene and Anna, or like, where is she coming from? Why is she running? Was she running from something else and then infected found her? It just starts off with this pregnant woman running through a forest, and you don't
Mhm.
know why, or what from, or whatever. Of course, you come to find out that it's infected, but they could have done a lot more, I feel,
Mhm.
than just what they did. Like, it almost, the way that it was done, it almost felt like an unnecessary scene.
Okay.
I think they could have done a lot more.
And I think they say in the lines between Ellie, or not Ellie, Anna and Marlene, is they knew each other since they were kids.
Mm-hmm.
They do mention that. It's like, how long
Briefly.
have we? It's like, how long have we known each other? And Marlene goes, since we were kids. I think that's the line exchange between the two.
Yeah, but that's one thing.
So
There was nothing else.
I
Yeah.
see. I do definitely see where you're coming from. And also, I just want to say, for the record, that I could have done a little bit more as well, actually. Because for the record, they've never even once like told us as to why exactly Ellie's immune. The game's never discussed it in either game, for that matter.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I mean, the show's never really touched on it either. And I mean, you can take, you can think of whatever you want to say to come up with your own reason as to why Ellie may or may not be infected, or immune, rather. But it just, it kind of, it does kind of make you, I guess, want more. Yeah, so I do see where you're coming from. I do.
No, I definitely wanted more. And I was definitely a little disappointed with how it played out. And the timing, it felt really weird and really off. Like it was like a rush to get to the end.
Right.
Like, this is it, we're done, boom, over. I felt like it was super rushed, honestly.
They did kind of do it themselves.
And then, like I said,
Yeah.
with that stupid music, it was so loud. You couldn't hear, like, the people screaming. You couldn't hear them crying and running away. There was no, like, nothing made it frantic,
Yeah.
which is what I think it should have been. Joel was not, but everyone else was.
It just felt
And
like
I feel like the volume of the music that they chose was a mistake.
it just
Yeah.
felt like that fight scene from the Kingsman,
Yeah.
where it's just the loud
I
ass
coulda-
music and the dude's just going to town.
Yeah, when it comes to that, I do agree with you on that one, Artie, for sure. Is the music could have been toned down. It kind of
Oh,
like
yeah.
it's just in the background. I wouldn't mind if it was just in the background.
It was in the background, fine. Yeah,
Yeah.
cool. I would have been totally fine with that. But it was like the prominent feature of that scene when it should not have been.
right.
Because there was so much more happening.
True. My definite, like, for both of you guys, my one opposing opinion, and we don't disagree on a lot here. We both all generally agree with a lot that goes on, but this is I have a legitimate disagreement with both of you. Is in the game, yeah, you don't get a lot with how Ellie's infected or immune.
Mm-hmm.
And they're keeping with that because, in essence, Ellie doesn't know that she's immune until she gets bit. So how can you have in my opinion, how can you have a backstory? Because nobody knows she's immune, because Anna lies to Marlene saying that the umbilical cord was cut before Anna got bit. So why look into that further? Because Ellie never turns. Ellie never actually turns.
Because
So there's no foreground for there to be any kind of discussion on how she got immune. They're leaving it to their how they did it. I agree with, because you could interject with yourself that she was attached to the umbilical cord for such a short amount of time that the bite and the amount of whatever kind of infection runs through somebody was just enough, kind of like a immunization that you would get from, let's say, the smallpox vaccine or whatever. She had just enough to make her have that foreign body in her to not become infected, but still have that immunity to where the virus already thinks that she's immune, like to where they already sees to where it is an infected.
Mm-hmm.
Because obviously their little gun thing shows that she's infected.
Yeah.
So that is my one disagreement.
That's fair.
see,
That's
okay,
fair.
I didn't want more on her immunity.
Okay.
I wanted more on Anna.
Yeah.
Because
Okay.
the way that the scene played out left a lot of questions.
Okay.
Like, where was Marlene? Who are these guys?
Yeah.
Why was she out knowing that she could pop like that?
Yeah.
I also didn't like how there was no fucking effort for that kid to come out. It was just on the floor. There was no thud. There was no nothing. It just slid out like it was a water slide.
So I'll say with that, I think that's during the heat of the moment with the infected.
And I agree with that to an extent.
Yeah.
But do you realize how much effort it takes to push a kid out?
Obviously, I do not.
A lot more than that.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm sure.
Because that is like a whole process.
Yeah. But
And it just
all in
falls
all,
out? No,
all in all,
there's no way. No way.
all in all, I think that's kind of what we get for one, the episode being the shortest of the season,
Yeah.
That was a big mistake.
and for
I think.
two,
I agree with that.
them kind of putting themselves in that spot by telling the story the way that you've done episodes 1 through 8. Now,
Yeah.
granted, I don't
Mhm.
know if there's anything I would change about the story or like placement of I don't know, maybe I'd move around a couple things. Maybe I'd move the Riley story elsewhere. Because, I mean, I don't know.
I just think they should be combined into one. Between Anna and Riley's story.
That's what I was just about to say. I think the placement, because I said this before we even watched that episode, is I think the Anna backstory fit best with Riley's episode because you're getting the backstory, more of the backstory with Ellie.
Yep.
Mhm.
But the creators wanted to save it for the end.
Yes.
And they knew that from the start. Because I don't know if you've watched the podcast for this or listened or whatever.
I
But-
haven't, no.
They were talking about that. Like, oh yeah, this is an idea that Neil's had in his mind basically
Mhm.
since the start.
Yeah.
And it's always been brought up as like a DLC or whatever, or a short story.
Yeah, because he
Whatever
said
it
he
is.
wrote a short story on it, right?
Exactly. But it's
Yeah.
always been pushed aside.
Yeah.
And at this point, I almost feel like it probably should have been pushed aside again. Because I don't think it added much to the story at all. There was nothing special.
It's kind of like
Yeah.
one of those, like, putting a face to the name type deals.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Okay.
See,
That's
with
fair.
that
That's fair.
with that I do agree. I'm just saying, like, with the immunity part is
Well,
what I disagreed on.
and to be fair,
I do agree why we should have got more with Anna.
I've wanted to know about her damn immunity since I played the fucking game.
Right.
And I mean, we're never gonna get those kind of answers. Even
True.
if they make a part, because I mean, like, what are you really gonna say? Like,
There's not much to say.
exactly. So, like,
'Cause I mean,
while
nobody knows.
like while I do want that satisfaction of knowing why, it is one of those, like, I don't know, like we got the reason why right there in that giving birth scene. You know, as you said, just a tidbit of the infection went through the umbilical cord, put it into Ellie's body, and apparently that was just like a vaccine, just enough to make her immune.
So,
But
side note then on that, what if during season 2, because we know there's going to be a season 2.
Yep.
What if they explain it when Ellie goes back to the hospital and finds all the notes?
I don't know. I don't think they will.
You don't think so?
Probably
I
not.
don't think so.
Because they slightly, if you read all the notes in the game, they slightly, and listen to the voice recorders that she has, it slightly goes through a little bit more of an explanation of where the virus is, what the virus is doing, and
Yeah,
everything
but
like
I
that.
think Neil and Craig like that people don't know. Because
Okay.
they have blatantly said that before. So I really don't think we're
it's
going
the
to get...
mystery, yeah.
Exactly. So I really don't think we're going to get anything more.
Okay.
I don't.
That's
Well,
fair.
and they've also said that, I mean, we could not. They've already said that season 2 is going to not really follow the game as closely as season 1 did.
Well, it's so hard to do that, though, because
yeah,
it's such a
incredibly,
complex
yeah,
game.
incredibly.
Well, they were even saying, or I heard it somewhere, that the second game, I don't know how true this is, and I hope it is true, because I think it was from Craig Mazin himself that game 2 is more than a season's worth of
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, no,
Absolutely.
he did.
which
he
is
did
what
say
we were
that.
calling which is what we were all calling from the start, is that this
At
second
least 2
game
seasons.
needs to be at least
Yeah.
2 seasons,
At
because you
least.
have one, it's a 30+ hour game.
Yeah, you could push that it would potentially take 3, but I think at that point
Yeah.
you'd be really milking it. And
I
I
was
don't know.
kind of
God, yeah.
theorizing this with Nandri yesterday, actually,
Okay.
that they could easily do an episode intertwined between Abby and Ellie.
Like 1-1 or
Yep.
combined?
1-1.
So episode Ellie, episode Abby,
Yep.
and just kind of back and forth it.
Yep. Or they just do Ellie's story, Abby's story.
They've got to do it
Neil.
like that. People like me, like that's going to confuse the hell out of a lot of people that don't already know the story. Like
Okay.
And that was my thought too. I'm like, they can't
Yeah.
do it in the same episode because the
No.
back and forth is going to confuse people. For
So
sure.
what about this then? How would we like this? Exactly what you're saying. Back forth, back forth, back forth. Second season of game 2 is them intertwined,
And then the third is
and then that's that, that the whole second season of game 2. So the third season is when they intertwine, and then you're in California looking for Abby.
I could see that. I think if they intertwined the stories though, because it's only 3 days, right?
Yeah,
You're
3
in Seattle
days.
for 3 days. Okay.
Mhm.
You have to think about it like this though. It's 3 days between 2 characters. And I don't know how they're gonna pace it because again, there's a lot.
Yeah.
well,
But I feel like
you,
they could easily fit both Abby and Ellie into one season. And then just do the ending bit on its own. If they even need.
Mm-hmm. It's really
It's
hard
so
to
weird,
see
because
how
the
they
game
would
is
do
so
more than one
fucked.
season.
Well, and
The
you've
game
got
is so fucked.
you've got so many new characters to introduce, to give backstory to. Then coming from Craig and Neil's
Lev, Yara, Abby, their whole crew.
Well,
Yep.
coming also from Neil and Craig's perspective, you've also got to make us care about these characters. So you've got to, bring some humanizing qualities to them, which
Yes.
I don't know. Say what you will about the second game. You like it, you don't like it, whatever. My only thing is dislike it for good reasons. Don't dislike it because the characters are gay. It's stupid.
Yes.
Whatever.
100%.
I'm not
Sucked,
not
but
gonna
What
not
if
not
they
gonna get on
do, or
that. Or
what if we get in season 2, the start of it doesn't start off with Ellie and Joel. It starts off with Abby's search for Joel.
that's not bad.
We get the first couple episodes, because I think you need to spread it out a little bit more.
Yeah.
We get a Abby backstory.
I think we're
her
going to whether
finding
we
her
start with
dad.
her or not, though.
Because you have to show her
Because you
finding her
have to.
dad. And because my thing is how the hell does she find out it's Joel in the first place? Owen, right? Is it Owen?
Well,
that
I mean,
knows.
She was there, was she not?
Yeah, but did she know about Joel though? I know she's there, but did she know who the guy was?
I mean,
fully?
yeah, because you had the people that Joel didn't kill.
Yep.
That would then to be able to tell the tale of
Yep.
Joel the Great and Ellie the Immune.
So maybe the two nurses is what not killing them is. Maybe they'll bring that into the blood will bite him in the ass.
Holy shit! Laura Bailey told Abby. Whoa.
Yeah, right.
I mean, because like you think about it though, like you don't ever see those scrub nurses leave.
No.
And you just see little Abby walking into that door. Her dad is dead on the ground.
Yeah, and then no one who
and they're
comes
probably
and
still
comforts her.
there. They saw his face.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert for season 2.
This entire podcast is a spoiler alert. You should know better.
Especially being an hour into this episode, you should know.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Fair
Yeah.
enough. All great.
Jesus.
All great. I love all of this, and
I have a lot of speculation.
in all fairness, I think we should stop.
Yeah, because this is what you could discuss.
Exactly, because I think this is all fantastic discussion that we could have next week on the finale of the Clicker Cast, talking about season 2, the potential of who we're gonna cast as Abby.
I've already seen some suggestions.
Exactly. There's a lot of really good suggestions out there. Add to that, we've got everything else that we've already discussed. Discussing the show as a whole, the revisions that we've talked about, what have you. So, make sure, I'm looking at you. You right there. Make sure you come back next week for the finale. I don't know how long it'll be. Neither do these two. It could be long. We'll have to
I'm
wait and see.
anticipating it.
Oh yeah.
So, but until then, thank you so much for tuning in to episode 10 of the ClickerCast. We really do appreciate the amount of support that everyone gives us for the show. It is wonderful to see. Thank you so much. I am, of course, Eroe, as always. You can find me on everything, just EROE. You already know. But more importantly, you can find my wonderful co-hosts at
linktr.ee/Ballistic Gaming TV.
And Artie the Gamer on everything.
There you go. I was waiting for Turtle to sneeze on us again.
He left. You called out his sneezes and you got nervous.
What can I say, man? What can I say? So yeah. There we go. Make sure you tune in next week for the finale, and after that, I will be making some announcements in the finale as well. So make sure you tune in. If not for the entirety of the episode, for some other stuff that we've got, stringing along for you, because it's going to be a good time. So, without any further ado, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for stopping by. We love you. We'll see you next week. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.